One of the cool features of S2M is that we can manipulate and move the parts on the nest pattern. The computer's going to do a pretty good job of putting parts where it thinks it should go, but sometimes we're going to want to put things together or line things up that the computer just can't really know. In this lesson, we'll take a look at how we can move some parts around, rotate them, and flip them. As you can see on this sheet, I have 4 doors. They're all stacked along the top, because that is normally what I would want them to do. However, for this sheet, I may decide that I want to do the opposite, as I know I have a job coming up, and having the shorter square offcut is going to be more convenient than the longer rectangle. To do this, I'll need to rotate all my parts by 90 degrees, and move them into a new position. To do this, I'll first click on my first door. You'll see this section above the parts list lights up. Here we have 4 main options to choose from. The first will rotate the part 90 degrees in a clockwise direction. The next will rotate the part in 90 degrees but in the anti-clockwise direction. Next along we have the option to rotate by 180 degrees. This will rotate the part 180 degrees, but it won't actually move it, as you can see, like the 90 degrees did. Next along we have the option to flip the part. As you can see, if I flip my door, the hinges have been moved to the back and will no longer be machined. This is a great tool if you're not doing 6-face nesting and have a part with operations on both sides. You'll easily be able to select which side of the part is machined and which part you would like to do manually. I'll go ahead and flip all of my doors 90 degrees clockwise. As you can see after doing this, all the doors are over the top of each other and they're not really on the sheet anymore. So to fix this, we can now move the doors into position. I'll click and drag my first door to the top left corner of the sheet. You can see it snaps a bit too far away from the edge. This is because there's another door in the way. I'll go ahead and drag all my other doors just out of the way for now. Now if I click my part, drag it back over the top left corner, you'll see it snaps into place. You'll see it automatically snaps to position, allowing the 5mm that we set up in our trim cuts earlier in the course. I can now line my next door up over the edge of the sheet and the first door, and it will automatically put in the correct part spacing and look after that trim cut on the left hand side. I'll repeat this process again by clicking on my third door, overlapping the edge in the second door and releasing it. Just like that, it drops into place. I'll do this to my last door, and just like that, I've reorganized the sheet to get the offcut I need for my next job. Moving parts around is a great feature for when you need to make sure offcuts and things like that are the right size for upcoming jobs. Take a bit of time now to play with those different buttons, get used to how things move around, make sure you get used to dragging things over the side, watching how it snaps into place. When you're ready with that, we'll move on to our next lesson and I'll show you how to do some copying and pasting of parts onto sheets and onto new sheets.